Tatiana's Terrible Discovery. It was November 17th, the year of 1939, in the German town of Berlin. Berlin was recently celebrating a parade about the start of World War II. There is a girl in the front, not knowing what's going on or why she's here. This girl goes by the name of Tatiana Bremen. She has blonde hair, a brown dress, and she always wears a red bow in her hair. This girl is only the age of 8.
The parade is now over. Tatiana starts her walk on the brick sidewalk, trying to figure out what's going on. She sees a tank in the road, and people on the sidewalk waving over to the tank. Still wondering what's going on, Tatiana continues her walk through the street.
Tatiana has followed the street and has now led herself to a building. She looks out onto the street through a huge window. Through that window, she saw Nazi soldiers piled in a truck and children playing on the street.
The building stairwell leads her to a bridge where she looks out onto the pond, and in the water she sees her reflection and a duck.
Tatiana is now off the bridge and has led herself to a stairwell. While she walks down the stairs, she sees a small town. In the town, she sees many Nazi soldiers in the street harassing young and old Jewish people. It seems like they're about to invade the town.
One of the Jewish children that was being harassed by the Nazi soldiers was a young boy named Gradzik Hanover. This young boy was only the age of 6, and he was one of the only Jewish children in his neighborhood. He was the only Jewish child being harassed by the Nazis. Tatiana walked right by the Nazi soldiers and continues her way to a busy street.
The street that Tatiana has led herself to is filled with Nazi soldiers and Jewish slaves. Tatiana is surprised at how many Jewish people that the Nazi soldiers have got to bring to the concentration camps.
Tatiana has followed the Nazi soldiers to a stairwell. There aren't too many people outside, and it looks like the Nazis have already taken over this town.
Tatiana walks down the stairwell, which leads her to a dirt road. There's wood fences, barbed wire, and a sign that says no trespassing all around her. It looks like somebody has been there because of the tire tracks that were left in the road.
She has followed the tire tracks and has led herself to a forest. A barbed wire fence stops her at the end of the path. She looks over the fence, looking surprised. She's trying to figure out what she sees.
Tatiana takes a step forward to confirm what she saw. She sees a whole bunch of Jewish people all wearing the same clothing. Stripes. All of these Jewish people were in a concentration camp with no way out because they were all surrounded by barbed wire fences. Confused, Tatiana runs home to figure out why they're all there.
When she gets home, she realizes that all the people that the Nazis were gathering up earlier that day turned out to be put into that concentration camp. While she sat at the kitchen table, she thought, what can I do to help these Jewish people out? Then it came to her. She gathered up as much food as she could carry. Then her mother walked through the doorway. Tatiana quickly put the food into her jacket and ran right out of the house.
While she pushes herself through the street, she passes a Nazi soldier, trying to hide the food she's carrying in her jacket.
She continues her walk back to the concentration camp without getting caught. Then she recognizes someone, the boy that was with the Nazi soldiers the day before, Gradzik. So, while she talks to the Jewish people, she unpacks all the food and carefully hands it through the fence back to them.
Tatiana is now on her way back home when she sees Nazi soldiers and tanks passing by. Carefully, Tatiana sneaks behind a wood fence while she cautiously watches them pass by.
As soon as the Nazis passed fully by, she snuck down to the bridge with the water on her right. She couldn't believe what she on her left. Looking down onto a street, she sees people carrying luggage and taking their luggage into their cars. While Tatiana thinks about what these people were doing, she finally figured out that they were trying to escape.
While she continues her walk down the street, she thinks hard about why these people would want to leave their country. Then she sees it. Driving on the street were tanks, but they weren't the same tanks she saw before. Tatiana stood there, scared. She couldn't believe what she saw before. While she thought to herself, if these are different tanks, that could only mean one thing: war.
Tatiana ran back to the dirt road she was at before. Thinking about the horrors ahead with the war, she imagines herself in the future. The fences ruined, the environment gone, and all the people that would die. She just couldn't believe what she was about to happen.
Years have passed. Tatiana lived through the war. She goes back to the dirt road she used to go to during the war. Even though the fences were still destroyed, all of the trees and flowers have grown back. For all the bad things that have happened, it was finally over.
Tatiana walks over to the fence and places a flower onto it. This flower symbolizes about how even though all these lives were lost during the war, the flower could start a new life and a better future.